जय श्री माताजी। उपस्थित सभी सहयोगी भाई बहनों का आज शाम के सामूहिक ध्यान सत्र में प्रतिष्ठान पुणे की ओर से स्वागत है। वी वेलकम ऑल द ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड इन टुडेज इवनिंग कलेक्टिव मेडिटेशन फ्रॉम प्रतिष्ठान पुणे। हम सब अपने दोनों हाथों को हृदय स्तर पर लाते हैं। लेट्स रेज बोथ द हैंड्स एट द लेवल ऑफ हार्ट। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, हम सभी आज सामूहिक रूप से आपका ध्यान करना चाहते हैं। श्री माता जी, इस ध्यान के लिए आवश्यक परिस्थिति एवं मनस्थिति हम सबको प्रदान करें। श्री माता जी, प्लीज़ गिव अस द एप्रोप्रिएट इन्वायरमेंट फॉर दिस मेडिटेशन। सामूहिक बंधन। लेट्स हैव कलेक्टिव बंधन। तीन महामंत्र, तत्पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र।
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
नाड़ी संतुलन हेतु हम अपने राइट हैंड को भूतत्व पर रखते हैं। लेट्स कीप राइट हैंड ऑन मदर अर्थ। चित्त को ईड़ा नाड़ी पर रखते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी परम कृपा में सामूहिकता की ईड़ा नाड़ी में जो भी जड़ताएं हैं, अशुद्ध इच्छाएं हैं, अगुरु कुगुरु का प्रभाव है, उसे कृपा करके इस महान भूतत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, बाय योर ग्रेस काइंडली रिमूव ऑल द नेगेटिविटी, द इफेक्ट ऑफ फॉल्स गुरुज, impure desires from the collective left channel to the mother earth. हाथ गोद में रखते हैं। हम अपने लेफ्ट हैंड को आकाश तत्व की तरफ करते हैं। लेट्स कीप लेफ्ट हैंड टुवर्ड्स स्काई एलिमेंट। चित्त को पिंगला नाड़ी पर रखते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी परम कृपा में सामूहिकता के रजोगुण में जो भी बाधाएं हैं, उसे कृपा करके आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हम सभी को शुद्ध कार्य शक्ति प्रदान करें। श्री माता जी, बाय योर ग्रेस प्लीज रिमूव ऑल द नेगेटिविटी, ईगोनेस फ्रॉम द कलेक्टिव राइट चैनल टू द स्काई एलिमेंट। हाथ गोद में रखते हैं। चित्त को मध्य मूलाधार पर स्थित करते हैं। लेट्स कीप आवर अटेंशन ऑन सेंट्रल मूलाधार चक्र। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आप ही साक्षात श्री गणेश हैं। कृपा करके हम सभी के अंदर अबोधिता, पवित्रता पूर्ण रूप में स्थापित कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, योर द श्री गणेशा, प्लीज गिव अस द पावर ऑफ इनोसेंस, प्योरिटी। धीरे धीरे से हम अपने चित्त को सहस्रार चक्र पर लाते हैं। पूर्ण हृदय से प्रार्थना करते हैं, परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, कृपा करके हम सबको पूर्ण निर्विचारिता प्रदान कर दीजिए। श्री माताजी, कृपा करके हम सभी को अपने आत्म साक्षात्कार में दृढ़ता प्रदान करें। श्री माताजी, प्लीज़ गिव अस द कंप्लीट थॉटलेसनेस। श्री माताजी, प्लीज़ गिव अस द सब्सटेनेंस स्टेबिलिटी। कुछ क्षण ध्यान में रहेंगे। ध्यान की इसी अवस्था में परम पूज्य श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं। आज की अमृतवाणी है गुरु पूजा डिटैचमेंट साइलेंस फेथ, फ्रांस 1990।
Value. I mean, these questions never arose before, so it's not written in any books. Any one of the books of the gurus is not written that don't care for antiques. They have written don't drink, don't smoke, all other things which spoils your nabi. They have written all these things, but they have not written that don't worry about antiques so much. You see, and I find that's a craze nowadays, and so we have to tell people that we have to be careful. Moreover, I feel the very people have gone to drugs and that maybe that because they use so much antiques that the bhoots from the antiques must have got them. Can't understand that why people are so melancholy all the time, crying, weeping and all. So the conditionings of these matter as we think it to be is to be absolutely taken out. Of course, I mean in certain countries we should say that the antique things were made were good and nice. But only because something is antique should not be respected, because of its intrinsic value of aesthetics, that it's all right. But one has to see first of all the vibrations of everything. If the vibrations are good, then you should accept, otherwise no. Because we have the language of vibrations and we have to use the language of vibrations. Once you start using the language of vibrations, you'll be surprised how you will get complete picture as to what is to be done. So, to get rid of these three conditionings for our body is very important. And the worst thing for a Sahajayogi to think that he's sick is a sort of a tarnishing the name of Sahaja. If you are still feel you are sick, you better get out of Sahaja. Because either you get well or you are not a Sahaja. One of the two things. If you are a Sahajogi, you have to see that you get well. And if there are certain problems also, doesn't matter. Now for example, supposing I have certain problems which I know because of Sahaja, because of my position as the mother, my position as Adishakti. Certain physical things I have to face, parasympathetic working I have to face. But I go through it, it's accepted. You have to accept your body as it is. And you are not to sort of say that I'm not well or there's something wrong with me and go on complaining like some old hag. Never think you are old, first of all. Never think that you have gone old or you are no good. Look at your mother. I never think that way. Yesterday half of you were sleeping, I was still alert, listening to the music, and today I am again alert here. So if you have a guru, then that image should be with you, that we look at our mother, she's so old, how much she travels, how much she does. All right, you might say she's Adi Shakti, but little bit of Shakti you too have. And that Shakti is to be shown by your full dynamism. If you have no dynamism and if you still feel very weak, that means you are not a surgeon. So just ask for any amount of energy can come to. That dynamism should be there. Now this I would say for the physical self, that one has to know that you are all younger and getting younger and younger, but not the stupidity of youth, but gravity, the gravity of the age. Actually, I have seen children who are born realized. They are very grave. They won't do anything that is not dignified. And they will never, I have never heard them talking to some of the Sahajoginis have a bad habit of talking tuck among themselves. It's a very bad habit, which shows that they're still very much lacking. Just wearing saris or wearing bindis, you do not become a Sahajogini. First of all, what is the gravity? You should only speak whenever it is necessary. So I have seen these Sahajogis who are born realized children. They stand like this before me. And they say very few words, but beautiful words they speak. And say things which you can remember all the time. They just do not go on wasting anything. And they are extremely obedient. So from them one can learn that these are born realized, and the way their guru principle is acting, are we also acting the same way? Or we are doing something that is not good for our ascent. So even after coming to Sahaja Yoga, if you do not try hard to introspect yourself, you have missed the point that you compare yourself with your guru all the time. Now, then everything has to be understood in the right perspective that we are Sahaja Yogis. Now for a Sahaja Yogi, first and foremost thing that he has to have love. First, for others, not for himself. If you are all the time worried about yourself, my body is such, my this thing such, and I have to do this, then you don't love others. But do you see to the comfort of others? Do you feel the compassion of other Sahaja Yogis? Do you feel what have I to bring for them, what is missing in them? Do you work it out? Do you go out of the way to help them? First of all, Sahaja Yogis. Now Sahaja Yogis are different things. I have seen many Sahaja Yogis will go and take the side of the non-Sahaja Yogis and try to debase the Sahaja Yogis. It's a very wrong thing. You belong to this new race. And the people who do not belong to this new race, and if they are attacking anybody, these are your hands, your feet, your head. And if they attack it, it is duty bound that you help them instead of helping the others. Maybe something wrong with this person, doesn't matter. You need not show all the fair play there. In that place, you should support a Sahaja Yogi out and out. Later on, you may correct and you may tell that person, you should not have done like this, it was wrong. So this dignity and this understanding comes only through silence. But if you are chirping all the time, talking, tuck, 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 it can never can make you deeper person. You'll be just flying in the air with all that. So for women now, is best is to take to Mauna, is to keep quiet. Just keep quiet. They all the time want to talk. I have heard from all the leaders that it's a big problem with women. They just go on talking stories, telling stories. But if you ask them to come and speak, they will start shaking. How many can give speeches? Women? If you understand that if you cannot give a speech, you better not talk also. You should be able to give a speech because your mother is a woman, she gives speeches. Why can't you give some speech? You cannot. If I make you stand here, you will be shaking. I know that. But if it comes to murmuring souls, you are there. So that is one thing women have to be very careful. And as today is the Guru Puja, I have to tell you things, not as a mother, but as your Guru. That if you have to ascend, the best thing is for you to stop talking. Maunam sarvartha sadhanam. Maun means to keep quiet. It gives you all kinds of facilities. Just keep quiet. If somebody is talking too much, just keep quiet. If somebody is trying to criticize, keep quiet. That's your silence, that's your right, that's your domain, that you can keep silent. Just watch that person. If it comes then to answer, then you can answer better. But if somebody is trying to attack you, just keep silent. But this silence has to be established, and one should only establish by not talking too much. I have seen also when I am sitting here, I have seen women talking among themselves. And this is very wrong. You must learn the silence. Like yesterday I saw so many ladies also were walking out, walking in. In the church will you do that? You won't do it. In the church there is no Christ, there is a horrible priest sitting there, but you cannot do it. You all keep quiet, you sit there nicely. I have never seen anybody walking out here and there and doing all kinds of things, putting the children in front like that, making them sleep. Never. Can you do that in the church? What a disciplined people observe in that church, which is an artificial place. And where you are now, that kind of a silence has to be there. And that kind of understanding, that depth, that awe has to be there. But because we have not yet developed that guru thing, if you have developed it, then immediately it will work out. You will see your gravity will show in your behavior. So this is for our attention not to be wasted. To discuss somebody, to discuss about others' characters, we have no business. Do we discuss the character of one hand to another hand? To discuss about what has happened about marriages, things like that. Also, marriage is just, in Sahajayoga, it's not such an important thing. Some people pay too much attention to marriage. You see, marriage becomes a headache. Also, then what about my marriage? Then again 10 minutes you see that person, what about my marriage? Again after 10 minutes, what about my marriage? You want to run away. I mean, you see, it's something becomes like a mania for people. What should we do? And the whole thing is all depends, or the whole programming depends on how you are going to get married. So you have come to Sahajayoga, you are sannyasis. You are not married people in a way. You are married only to Sahajayoga. That's your husband, that's your wife. And the so-called husband and wife are there. But if they are not Sahajogis, then you are unmarried, definitely. So too much attention is paid in Sahajayoga to marriages. I have seen that before marriage, before Sahajayoga, marriage was a joke. Every third day there was a divorce and people would run away and do all kinds of things. Then when they got married, after Sahajayoga, they are the greatest romantic people ever known in the whole world. I mean, all Romeo and Juliets going about. I just don't understand. Even in the Indian villages, people complain that what sort of these people are. I mean, they have no sense at all, and the way they go around, are they the saints? So that saintliness, that sannyas, that asceticism has to be expressed in our married life. I don't mean that you don't have relationship with your husband, but in a very private way. It has to be extremely private, and it should not be such a great thing to go into romanticism. You'll ruin the whole of Sahajayoga in the West if you start doing that nonsense. Because also there's an idea about it that you see, you fall in love. But then you'll fall. That's the first point. You'll fall. You want to rise. So this attachment and this worry about the husband and this and that, I mean, you can carry on with any kind of a husband and wife if you are a Sahajayogi. You should be able to. I mean, I know that's very simple. Your husband is a study, wife is a study, that's all. You study a person, what sort of a person is. But for that you have to have the witness state. And you have to see, you have to be detached. So in marriages, one has to be detached. But on the contrary, I find that just after the marriage, they want to organize some special thing for them to go to some sort of a honeymoon or some sort of a thing. I don't know how these ideas crawl up. These are coming from the old conditionings of things. And after honeymoon, they come and say, Mother, this marriage is not going to work out. So it's better to do slow and steady and then decide. Because you just jump into honeymoon mood and come back and say, Mother, this I've started thinking and I don't think. I know of a lady who was jumping with an Indian gentleman, and she was on her way to Australia. In Singapore, she telephones that, Mother, I don't think this marriage will work out. And here everybody complained to me, Mother, these two are behaving in such a manner that Indians are rather embarrassed. So the sense of shame you must learn from Indians. They never, husband and wife never sit together in India. It's regarded as bad manners, and it should be with you also. That even in the puja, even in anything they are sitting in the public, what is the need to show your relationship in the public? It's only in the private. This is one of the things when if you start understanding, there will be a proper adjustment. Men should be with men in the public, women should be with the women together. But the women or men, whatever they are, whatever are their bad points should not be brought back. Like I would say, the men have jealousies and they have power orientation, and they discuss about leadership and They get a shock if you tell them that you are not going to be a leader, as if they think leadership is something very concrete. It's the greatest myth ever going, is this leadership. There's nothing like leaders in this Sahaja Yoga. It's just a joke. And your mother is very good at playing serious jokes. So be careful. Don't be childish about it. You have to understand that this is a big joke going on. And it's just a testing point. And if I test you wrong, you can tell me, but I think this has worked well because I can test people very well on that level. And immediately I know when the person gets onto the horse of ego. So, for your mental attitude has to be different and our priorities have to change. Our priorities have to change. What are our priorities? First and foremost thing is our ascent. Is the first priority. For our ascent, whatever is needed has to be done. If you have to punish your body, all right. If you have to punish yourself, all right. If you have a conditioning, get rid of it. Just introspect yourself. That is self-realization, is to know yourself. When you know yourself and know what is clinging on to it, just to remove it completely, work it out the way you like. Work it out the way you like. You see, it is very important that the body, mind, everything should be your slaves. Nothing should dominate you. You should be on top of everything. How dare your body ask for anything? How dare your mind tells you anything? How this conditioning works on you. I am a Sahaja Yogi, I am above everything. Like the lotuses have come out of the ponds, you have come out of it. We have so many proofs to show that you are realized souls. I'll show you some photographs that I have to show that there is light. I can put light into you, they are all enlightened. But in my presence, if you become the light, you must carry the light outside. Not only in my presence, but when you go out. But one of the reasons I think when I tell something, people just start thinking about whom mother is talking. They never think she's talking about me. That's the only way you can penetrate within yourself. When you see that mother is talking about me, she's correcting me alone and she's telling me, then only it will penetrate and it will work out. The priorities have to be changed, and the first and foremost is your ascent and the spirit and Sahaja Yoga. The rest is negligible, nothing important. Then the faith that there is this all-pervading power which is looking after us is very important. This time the musicians came all the way. I must tell you the story of their travel. They came and they said that there's a train from Kiev, and they also bought the tickets, so got into the train. And they were offloaded before the Hungarian border. They didn't know what to do. They had no visas, nothing, and not so much money also. They thought we are on the train. They said, no, you have to go cross over and go to Budapest. And they didn't know where. They were standing on the road. But they were all laughing and enjoying. Must be something in store for us. Nobody felt that they were in trouble or anything. So surrendered. So suddenly they said the custom people came and surrounded them, and they said, what's the matter? How are you here with all these bags and baggages? So they said, why are you here? They said, we have come for a concert, and they said, musicians we are, And somehow or other they started melting away. And then they gave them realization. 6 of them got realization. Now can you believe the power of love? And the custom officers, they offered their own cars, took them down to the other side. It's never happened with custom officers, imagine. It would be like shaving their teeth off, I tell you. The way, if you can do that to the custom officer. But it happened. And they came to the other side and left them there. Now they didn't know what to do. They wanted to go to Budapest. They had to walk about 2 miles or something to the station. So they're waiting there. Well, they said that, Mother, you sent maybe 2 Yugoslavs came in a big bus of 49 people, all vacant. They stopped the bus and said, what is it? Why are you here? So they said, this is our problem and we have to go. So they got into the bus. When he was driving them down, they thought of talking to him that why not you take us to Milan? And they managed. And they were in Milan. It's so remarkable. So to have faith completely in yourself and in that power which is surrounding you. And once you have that faith, you will realize that though it is so helpful to you, it is so kind to you, on the same level, if you think it can be very harmful. So then, never listen to the Guru Ninda. Means anybody talks anything ill about your Guru, just put your hands to your ears, absolutely immediately. I've known of a person who did that, got cancer, another now in jail, another one there. So anybody is saying like that, just put your hands, because now you know that. What is your Guru? So you should never hear anything against your Guru from anyone. The other day, one gentleman asked me a question, a newsman. He said that I'm told you have made a castle for yourself. I said, I have paid for it, I have made it also. It was a horrid place, no doubt. But there are only Sahajogis staying there, I am not staying there. That's the best part. But that's all I said. But on the contrary, they never go and ask these questions to any gurus or anything. Because the disciples say, yes, so what? We want to give to our Guru money and this and that. They never ask. But through Sahajayoga or myself, I have cured so many people of incurable diseases. I could have minted money. For curing one cancer patient, I could have made a castle myself. So when people say like that, you should say, do you know how many people she has cured? How much money she could have taken from them if she was a doctor or she was a false guru? How much money she would have made out of all of them? Then they will understand. You see, because they are being materialistic, they talk like that. And their attitude is very different. And so to tell them off is the best way, because I've seen that these press people are absolutely harassed by the disciples of the false gurus. Just they cannot criticize. They cannot say a word against such false gurus, while I find that Sahajogis still lack that complete faith in themselves and complete assertion. Where you have to assert, you must assert. For example, anybody says something wrong against me, you have to assert. Must say no, not possible. It's not. But I've seen some people asking me funny questions who are Sahajogis also. So, the first part is that to see how much we are sensitive to spirituality. I've seen Sahajogis supporting somebody who is so negative, you can't even bear that person, and such a person is something great. While somebody who is so good, they cannot make it out. So what's the use? Your computer is so faulty. The planes will have to run up and down if you have such a computer as Sahajogis are, because they just the other way down. A person who is good in Sahajayoga, who has got vibration, he may be simple, he may be unassuming, he may not be so rich, he may not be so educated, may not be from some good university, anything, but you must see the vibrations of that person. What sort of vibrations that person has, and then you should judge. Instead of that, if you judge that person only because he is very good to talk and he talks well and very scholarly or something like that, that's not the point. The point is, what are his vibrations? Once you see those vibrations and judge them on vibrations, then you are a Sahaja. Otherwise, I would not call you at all a Sahajogi, but for a Guru it is very important. I have seen sometimes even the leaders supporting somebody who is absolutely horrid. I can't bear that person, even for 5 minutes. But here the Guru sends him over to me. Oh, mother, he's so good, he donated so much money. It doesn't matter. He donated money, so what? Who asked him to donate money? But he should not donate his booths to us now anymore. We don't want his booth. So that's what it is. So the judgment should be correct about a person when you say that this man is not good or that not good. But mostly gurus themselves are caught up. And then they have ambitions, and if somebody doesn't listen to them or somebody wants to give lecture at a wrong time and somebody says you shouldn't talk like this or something, then they get angry. They have very hot temper and they provoke people, they say things sometimes, and then when people react, they say you are a bad Sahajayogi. That's not the way. First of all, a guru or a leader has to be himself a very mild, gentle and a good person. He has to be in such a way, he should not demand anything, he should not ask for anything. Never demand anything. Anybody who demands cannot be a guru. Respect is to be commanded and not to be demanded. And so, everything works out well if you understand that once you rise in your ascent, in your wisdom, in your awareness and in your spirit, automatically all these things happen. You don't have to ask for anything. You don't have to plead for anything. You don't have to complain for anything. Everything works out, you are looked after by all the ganas, by all the angels. They are there. You are on the stage. But if you are halfway, then they play tricks with you. See, they play tricks. They make you falter. You have problems. You go here, you go there. All these things happen. And then you say, Mother, how is it this happened? Because they are also jokers. So they play jokes with you. And they make problems for you, just to make you understand that you are doing wrong. So we are on a stage where there's a beautiful security, everything is there, and we have to give to the world such a great thing like Sahaja, which is for the emancipation of the whole world, as you realize. And so also I hope you realize your responsibilities. There are so many things one has to understand, how one has to be as a guru, how he has to act, and how he has to work out. Now I have given so many lectures on guru things, but for today's lecture only I have to say that first thing to have a guru system, you must have complete humility. Now with me, I would say I am too simple and I am Mahamaya. So you be very careful. You cannot take liberties with me. You cannot take. If you try to take too much liberties, that means you are not a disciple. A disciple has to keep a distance from the Guru. You cannot just take liberties, walk into my room every time, sit there for hours together, chit-chat with me, nothing. You have no right. Only when I call you, when I ask for you, you should go. Then you should not force things on the Guru, that please come and listen to this or do this. That should not be so. For example, yesterday nobody told me there are going to be these music programs or everything arranged. So we have to report everything to your leader or to me. All those things that you want to do. And it should be really transparent. Like this hand knows everything that this hand is doing, and this hand knows everything that this hand is doing. In the same way, everybody should know each other. Then the gurus should not have jealousies for each other. I am just telling you, because also I have found out that there are certain jealousies. And when they talk, there is a little bit of, he is good, but this. When they enjoy each other's company, because they have reached a certain state, and they understand this is the state we are in, when they enjoy each other's company fully and appreciate each other much more than anybody else, the Guru's company, all the company of the leaders, if they enjoy each other, and there's no jealousy, there's no fight, there's no problem, but just the enjoyment of the company, then they should know that they have become Guru. Now all of them never fought with each other. They supported, actually it is one principle was born again and again. But only the satanic people, they will fight among themselves, not the godly. And also they will talk against the person who is a realized soul or who is an incarnation, but never against themselves. It's very surprising that the satanic people, though they fight among themselves, there are jealousies, they will never talk of each other. But here I find that in Sahajayoga we have freedom. But freedom is not abandonment, it's the freedom with complete rules and regulations of the divine with us, and we have to know them that this is the divine law. So all of us are now sitting like in a big vimana, like an aeroplane, and we all have to land into the beautiful area. But first of all, we have to develop that humility in your heart. Complete humility and surrender. That's very important. Unless and until you have that humility and surrender in your heart, Guru principle cannot be awakened. First you have to be the disciple and then the Guru. So you have to develop that humility. And that humility comes very easily if you love me, respect me. It's not only love, but respect. That respect has to be there, and then people will respect you. May God bless you.
श्री आदि शक्ति का संपूर्ण मंत्र लेते हैं। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवे नमो नमः। आरती की तैयारी करते हैं।
सुन लो, हो ये सके जो सेवा, हो ये सके जो सेवा हमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी, श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी, श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी,
चित्त को सहस्रार पर रखते हैं और प्रार्थनाएं अर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का यह सामूहिक ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। श्री माता जी, आज जो ज्ञान, आनंद, चैतन्य आपने हमें प्रदान किया, उसके लिए हम हृदय से आपके ऋणी हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, विश्व निर्मल धर्म के प्रस्थापन के लिए हम सबको स्वीकार कर लीजिए। जाने अनजाने आज अगर हमसे कोई गलती हुई हो, कोई कमी हुई हो, तो कृपा करके हमें क्षमा करें। योर होलीनेस श्री माता जी, वी सरेंडर टुडेज इवनिंग मेडिटेशन at your holy lotus feet. Shri Mataji, the joy, knowledge, vibration that you have given us, we are always indebted to you. Shri Mataji, please make us your instruments for the establishment of Vishwa Nirmal Dharma. सामूहिक बंधन। आज की सूचनाएं इस प्रकार। प्रतिष्ठान में होने वाले विकास कार्य और मेंटेनेंस के लिए धनराशि भेजने हेतु आप प्रतिष्ठान पुणे एंड्रॉयड ऐप या प्रतिष्ठान पुणे.in इस वेबसाइट पर डोनेशन लिंक का उपयोग करें। आपने अगर इससे पहले ऑनलाइन डोनेशन किया है और आपको डोनेशन रिसीट प्राप्त नहीं हुई है, तो कृपया आप प्रतिष्ठान हेल्पलाइन 8881192193 पर संपर्क करें। योगा दिन के अवसर पर लर्निंग सहयोग यूट्यूब चैनल के माध्यम से आत्म साक्षात्कार कार्यक्रम संपन्न हुआ। नए साधकों के लिए पुनः 24 जून से हर शनिवार को शाम 6:30 बजे नई बैच आरंभ हो रही है। इस बैच में 20 सत्र रहेंगे। इस सत्रों की इमेज आप स्क्रीन पर देख सकते हैं। यह जानकारी आप नए साधकों को दें। सहजयोगा राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार और श्री आदि गुरु पूजा 2023 30 जून से 2 जुलाई तक अमृतसर पंजाब यहाँ आयोजित की गई है। 30 जून को शाम 5:30 बजे हवन होगा, 1 जुलाई को सेमिनार होगा और 2 जुलाई को 10 बजे श्री आदि गुरु पूजा होगी। अधिक जानकारी के लिए दिए गए नंबरों पर संपर्क करें। कल के कार्यक्रम इस प्रकार। अर्ली मॉर्निंग मेडिटेशन सुबह 4 बजे प्रसारित होगा। सुबह का ध्यान सुबह 5:30 बजे लाइव प्रसारित होगा। शाम का ध्यान शाम 6:30 बजे लाइव प्रसारण होगा। कल साप्ताहिक ध्यान केंद्र दिन है। आज का ध्यान सत्र यही संपन्न होता है। जय श्री माता जी।
जय गणेश के मातु गोरी, जय गणेश के मातु गोरी, जय गणेश की माँ तू गौरी। निर्मलानंदन करे हम वंदन, निर्मलानंदन करे हम वंदन। जय गणेश के माँ तू गौरी, जय गणेश के माँ तू गौरी। शुद्ध विद्या दे ध्यान दान दे, शुद्ध विद्या दे ध्यान दान दे। निर्मल चित माँ सबका कर दे, सबका कर दे माँ। हे माँ जय गणेश के माँ तू गौरी, जय गणेश के माँ तू गौरी। सब देवों के तुम सरताज, सब देवों के, सब देवों, सब देवों, सब देवों के तुम सरताज, सब देवों के तुम सरताज। विनती सुन लो मोरी आज, मोरी आज है। हे माँ जय गणेश की माँ तू गौरी, जय गणेश की माँ तू गौरी। वदना संकट हरना, सिंदूर वदना संकट हरना। बुद्धि प्रदायक अष्ट विनायक, अष्ट विनायक। हे माँ जय गणेश की माँ तू गौरी, जय गणेश के माँ तू गौरी। निर्मलानंदन करे हम वंदन, निर्मलानंदन करे हम वंदन। जय गणेश के माँ तू गौरी। किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊं माँ, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ। आप ही विधि बतायो, आप ही विधि बतायो जी, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ। तुमको देखा रह नहीं पाया, तुमको देखा रह नहीं पाया, अपने आप ही मैं चलाया, अपने आप ही मैं चलाया। ये सब तेरे ही तो है माया, ये सब तेरे ही तो है माया। जीवन ऐसा तो है चलाया, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ। तुझको मैं बंद कर लूं, नैनों में तुझको, नैनों में तुझको, नैनों में तुझको मैं बंद कर लूं, दिल में अपने तुझको रख लूं, दिल में अपने तुझको रख लूं। और किसी को देखूं न अब तो, और किसी को देखूं न अब तो, ऐसी विधि सुझायो जी, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ। सब सखियन में चुनर मोरी मैली, सब सखियन में रे, सब सखियन में, सब सखियन में, सब सखियन में चुनर मोरी मैली। देख हंसे मोहे सब नर नारी, देख हंसे मोहे सब नर नारी। अब की बार तुम ऐसा रंग दो, अब की बार तुम ऐसा रंग दो, रख लो लाज हमारी माँ, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ। आप ही विधि बतायो, आप ही विधि बतायो जी, किस विधि मैं तुमको पाऊँ माँ, किस विधि मैं तुम को पाऊँ, माँ किस विधि मैं तुम को